Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Douglas' destructive jest spins out after Hope and Thomas' joyful bubble bursts. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Steffi Forrester brought up an important concern during her recent battle with Hope Logan and Thomas Forrester. Although Hope defended her love with Thomas, Steffi mentioned Douglas Forrester and sounded fearful about what could be if they stay on this road. B&B suckers know Douglas is lodging for Hope and Thomas to be a real couple, so he's no mistrustfulness encouraged by the progress in their relationship. Of course, Thomas and Hope aren't trying to give Douglas two important stopgaps so soon, but he's a smart, perceptive sprat. You can go that Douglas knows Hope and Thomas are growing closer, so he must be pleased about that. It could lead to problems if Thomas and Hope's love doesn't work out in the end. Steffi is obviously upset about Thomas returning to his dangerous, compulsive jest. If a split happens, but he's not the only one to worry about. Maybe Steffi's enterprises regarding Douglas could lead to a new story development. Douglas has always been sweet and innocent, but that could change now that he's getting aged. After all, Douglas has witnessed Thomas' shady, manipulative jest for most of his life. It's clear that Douglas learned from the stylish, so he could be gearing up for a minatory new bow. Will Douglas act out in surprising ways if Hope and Thomas eventually break up? Could Douglas resort to destructive jest and maybe try to bring his parents back together in the process? Douglas is headed into his preteen times, so he's growing up presto. This could lead to Douglas getting a bit of a bad boy by the time he's a teenager, at least if Hope and Thomas can't control their son once he spins out. Nethermost line, there are good reasons to fret over Douglas and the kind of material he might get moving forward, especially now that Steffi has mentioned the possibility for trouble. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Steffi's Douglas enterprises could be a hint about the family issues ahead, so stick with us for updates on any shocking news. CDL will have other fantastic Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, news and updates to read up on, so make us your favorite B&B hotspot. Thomas Forrester's marriage proposal. B&B spoilers for Monday, January 1st reveal that Thomas will be waiting for an answer regarding his spontaneous marriage proposal. However, judging from the look on Hope's face at the end of the episode that aired on Thursday, December 28th, it might not be a yes. In fact, Hope just warned Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., that something bad will happen if Steffi Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, keeps pushing Thomas's boundaries. It almost seemed as if it were a cry for help. Once again, Hope is giving conflicting messages. When alone with Thomas, Hope seems to feel safe and happy. However, she might have already sensed that this dynamic with Thomas is a mistake. B&B spoilers, Hope Logan's answer. Hope will probably let Thomas down gently. Hope does care for Thomas, but she isn't in love with him. Now that Hope has this passionate dynamic with Thomas, she might realize he's falling into obsessive patterns again. Hope could always tell Thomas that she's not even divorced from Liam Spencer yet. Of course, Thomas will probably say he will wait for Hope as long as it takes. That could put some pressure on Hope to either stop the relationship or continue playing with fire. Thomas proposed at the wrong time. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that while there clearly is no right or wrong time to propose, it seems like Thomas Forrester could have waited just a little bit longer before asking the each important question to the love of his life, Hope Logan. As a matter of fact, Thomas' offer clearly doesn't make important sense to a lot of suckers of the show as it enough much came out of nowhere. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers Thomas proposed at the wrong time for a lot of B&B suckers. It seems like Thomas' offer to Hope came out of nowhere. That's because the two hadn't really bandied marriage in the history. What's more, Thomas has not really been on the oil recently and he just told Steffi that he's forfeiture going at Hope's pace. Yet, he also just took out that huge engagement ring and proposed to her right there and also. It goes without saying that this plot is giving suckers each different kinds of feels. Some have indeed reflected on the matter with, "It's so stupid and makes gibberish," grounded on the last 5 months. I'm not really upset about Thomas, I just suppose Belle wanted to add shock value no matter how fallacious it is, along with, "I am stupefied and I agree." I was confident about where they were going until that offer, and now I do ain't feel so sure. I do ain't understand it. Anyhow, if people suppose this is angst for Thope or that they're having Thomas regress after times, this came out of nowhere and there's no denying that. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. What's next for Thomas and Hope? Another The Bold and the Beautiful critic reflected with, frame it both ways. 1. Eric told them life is short, just go with it. He's alive and Thomas feels nearer to Hope than ever. He tells her he knows exactly how she feels about him. He doesn't need words. He can just tell by every touch, every look, every kiss. Of course, The Bold and the Beautiful suckers will have to tune in to find out what will be next. B&B airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your original rosters for times. Tell us, what do you suppose of this story? Drop us a line in our commentary section below with your studies. Also, watch this space as we've a feeling there's so much further juicy drama to come. Bill's hot date with Poppy, preamble to Lee's furious response. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Bill Spencer will make a new romantic play during the week of January 1st to 5th. B&B suckers know Bill's been hung up on Katie Logan for quite some time, but it seems he'll eventually let that dream reunion go. Now Bill's come intrigued by Poppy Nozawa, especially since he can't shake the feeling that they've met ahead. Luna Nozawa told Bill that they were from San Francisco, so Bill suspected that perhaps he attended some of the same parties as Poppy back in the day. Bill indeed spent some time in San Francisco, so he may continue to dwell on how familiar Poppy looks. Indeed, if Bill can't connect the blotches, he'll move Poppy to have a date with him in the present. On January 4th, Poppy will supposedly be treated to the full Bill Spencer experience. As Bill presumably wines and dines Poppy, he'll turn on the charm and flirt with the lovely woman who's walked into his life. Of course, Poppy preliminarily sounded nervous about meeting Bill and was eager to shut down their discussion at Il Giardino. That led to enterprise that Bill might be Luna's natural father, which would make sense if maybe he hooked up with Poppy a time or two and can't flash back it now. What will change Poppy's station and make her agree to this date? It could be a situation where Bill proves grim, so perhaps Poppy will surrender to one date only, just to shut him up. Also again, Bill might be so fascinating that Poppy forgets she's playing with fire. Naturally, Poppy could find herself falling for Bill despite her stylish sweats to repel. Maybe Poppy will indeed decide to get to know Bill more and ultimately contemplate telling him the verity about Luna. Whatever the case, Bill will have a hot date with Poppy, so the preamble will be on when it comes to Lee Finnegan's furious response. You can go. Lee's going to be mealy when she eventually realizes a love could be passing between Poppy and Bill, particularly since Lee nearly had one of her own with him. They don't call him Bone Bill for nothing, so Lee's presumably going to throw gold digger allegations around once she finds out Poppy's been spending time with one of the richest men in LA. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say the news of Poppy and Bill's date will spread, so stay tuned for updates on how it'll shake effects up.